My name is Sasha. She hears dolphins. Sasha, did you hear dolphins? I want to try some tam. Biking some tam.
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคน Welcome back to เกาะเต่า Scuba Club นะคะ วันนี้เราจะไม่ได้พาทุกคนไปไหนแต่ว่าเราจะพาทุกคนไปเรียนหนึ่งใน specialty ของ Scuba นะคะ เดี๋ยวเราจะไปเรียนเป็น specialty ไหนก่อนเดี๋ยวไปดูกันนะว่าแต่ก่อนเรียนเดี๋ยวไปรู้จักครูคนสอนกันนะแล้วเดี๋ยวให้ครูแนะนำว่าเรากำลังจะเรียนอะไรแล้วมันเกี่ยวกับอะไรบ้างแบบคร่าวๆก่อนที่จะไปเรียนจริงกัน Let's go
Hello guys, my name is Sasha and I'm going to be your instructor for today. Today we are going to talk about the Enriched Air Nitrox program. Section number 1 is called your Introduction to Nitrox. In this section we will talk about Enriched Air Nitrox. What is this gas? Its composition and two most common types of nitrox we use in scuba diving.
Is oxygen.
Exactly.
Yes, nitro. This is
Nitrogen.
nitrogen.
A mix of nitrogen and oxygen.
Yeah.
So technically, this is also nitrox. Nitrox mixes. So-called nitrox 1 and nitrox 2. The most common, the most popular mixes you will be dealing with in your diving. The first one, nitrox 32. Nitrox 32, it means that the tank contains 32% of oxygen. 32% of oxygen, and all the rest, 68, is nitrogen. And the second tank, the nitrox number 2, has 36% of oxygen and 64% of nitrogen. What is our biggest problem in scuba diving?
Because of nitrogen actually.
Boom. Too fast. Much faster than it can. In this case, it might create bubbles. So and those bubbles might make you sick, the decompression sickness. This is how it happens. You increase time, yeah? You give time for the pressure to equalize. The gas stays dissolved. Look at the nitrox 32 mix or 36. The more oxygen we have, the less nitrogen we have. And that is the entire point of this mix, to reduce the amount of nitrogen. You have less nitrogen, you will absorb less nitrogen. You absorb less nitrogen, you can stay longer. So nitrox can help us to prolong our dives, which is awesome. She hears dolphins. Sasha, did you hear dolphins? After our technical dive. Achumpon dolphins? Really? Dolphins arrive, it's time to shell off. Student number 1. Swimming, looking, and then doing this. Hop, touch with one tank the bottom. Hop, touch with the other one. Hop, touch with the first one. Hop, touch with the other one. The student number 2. The student number 3. One of my students, we popped up. He was like, "Oh, Sasha, I got a notification on my phone." What did you get? Notification on his phone. He wanted to check his phone. Yeah. You get a notification at 40 meters. It's probably time to shallow up. Yeah. So when you dive nitrox, technically you are safer in terms of the nitrogen narcosis because you have less nitrogen. I want to try some tam. Biking some tam. I eat spicy food, I'm a faran, I get diarrhea. That dehydrates me even worse. In the section number 2, which is called Nitrox, your body and the underwater world, we will learn about breathing more oxygen, the benefits of breathing less nitrogen, and about the central nervous system oxygen toxicity. Also, we will talk about the maximum operating depth and how to calculate it. 136 bar of nitrogen and 64 bar of oxygen. That is the partial pressure of all those gases in the tank. Want more? It's simply because of physics, the Boyle's law. Does it make sense? (1.4) moderate risk to divers. Recommended partial pressure. We talked about the benefits of breathing less nitrogen. It increases your bottom time, less nitrogen, longer NDL. Decreases the risk of narcosis. Nitrox, in using nitrox, you can dive more conservatively. So instead of having 5 minutes NDL, you can have 15 minutes NDL. That is your safety. Yep. In this case, and only in this case, it decreases the decompression sickness chances. There is no better mix. It depends on what you want to do. You want to go to Sattakut. You want to film the shipwreck. Which mix would you use? Why?
It's like you can go like 30 meters longer.
33. Exactly. Exactly. You cannot use this mix because you will get much more oxygen than it's safe. Yeah. So your NDL will be shorter. Preventing this from happening. This is the easiest thing you can do to prevent this from happening. Plan your dive, dive your plan. Simply do not exceed the depths where your mix can become dangerous. And one more thing, always analyze the gas you are going to breathe.
So you are sure.
So you are sure, you just check yourself that this is the amount, this is the percentage of oxygen I have in this actual tank. What time? I want to go to...
Can we make it more realistic with the dive size?
Depth is better. Or you want to send her somewhere deep? Single dive limit, 1 dive, or 24-hour limit. All the dive you do within 24 hours. So, what is our limiting partial pressure of oxygen? 1.4. If we do 1 dive to 1.4, our single dive should not be longer than 150 minutes. That's a lot. Yeah?
Section number 3, which is called Your Total Diving System and Nitrox. We will talk about analyzing nitrox cylinder content. We will learn how to use your total diving system with nitrox. We will talk about how our standard scuba equipment works with nitrox, mention the SSI equipment service program, and discuss how to label nitrox scuba cylinders.
You don't have to have any special equipment. Our tanks, the valves, your regulators, inflators, everything is certified to work with up to 40% of oxygen. Thank you. There are many different shapes, form factors, which does not matter. Here, for the analyzer, for all of them to work properly, they need to have a constant stream of gas going through the sensor. If you use a tank, or if you connect it to your LPI. 2 buttons, that's simple. And the spinning wheel at the other side where we can calibrate the sensor. And to calibrate it, we need a gas with a certain content. We know 100% that this is the mix. Open the tank and then connect the sensor. A little bit about oxidation, about risk of fire. And this is the way to go. A tag you put on top. You cannot stick anything to the tank. In meters or feet at the partial pressure. Date, name.
The section number 4 is dedicated to planning your nitrox dives. We will talk about the planning process. We will discuss using Nitrox programmable dive computers, how to manage our exposure to oxygen, and also how to manage our exposure to nitrogen. And we will discuss Nitrox dive planning and decision-making process.
I have done this, okay? Dive planning, this is what we've been doing with all of this. This is shear water. Yep, this is my computer. Here I can program what gases I'm going to use, up to 3. Yeah. So here I have pure oxygen, nitrox 32, and air. With this computer, I can also switch to 5 gases. Done. If you don't have a computer, you can plan your dives like this, or if you have a computer, your computer will calculate this number for you. The last one, managing exposure to nitrogen, now NDL. There is a parameter so-called equivalent air depth. You can use your normal dive tables, air dive tables. Dive number 1, if we talk about the first dive of the day. Here we have 3 mixes, air, nitrox 32, nitrox 36. You can plan your maximum depths. Or if you have a computer, your computer will do everything for you. Stations. Yeah. If you know how to plan your dive, and I hope you remember how to plan your dives, you can define your goal, grab the optimal mix, go out and have an awesome dive. A long and a very cool dive. Yeah, but you need to remember about these important things. Plan your dive, dive your plan. Nitrogen exposure, about your oxygen exposure. Always remember to switch your computer to nitrox air, depending on the mix you are breathing. There is nothing wrong if you go to Chimpon and dive air, and then you go to Septakut and dive nitrox. Nitrox does not allow you to go deeper. Don't get me wrong. Then we are done.
ครั้งหน้าจะพาไปเรียนอะไรกันต่อจะมี specialty ไหนที่น่าสนใจกันอีกก็ติดตามกันแล้วก็มาเรียนด้วยกันนะคะตอนนี้ไม่ไหวแล้วค่ะไปแล้วค่ะบ๊ายบาย